So remember those shiny pigs that were added? Oh, you do? Because it was only like a week ago? Huh. So the last video got like 500 views. Like, that's insane. Thank you so much. I was heading into this video grind, whatever you want to call it, like off of a high. I was feeling good. You know, the YouTube thing is still going pretty well. And by that, I mean I'm still going strong. With YouTube, that is, of course. But what happened in the actual game, I don't think I'm ever going to recover from. Quick disclaimer, this video is like super overdramatic, if you haven't realized that already. Okay, so in the new update, is it an update? Pigs. Let me back up a bit. So a couple of years ago, there was this potato war between Technoblade and I'm not going to explain all of it. Go watch their videos if you want to find out. They're pretty good. Long story short, Technoblade won. And whether it was his idea or not, a common accessory called the potato talisman was added to the game as a memento to the Great Potato War. You could go redeem it from the Potato King for a whopping free. After a few days, however, the Potato King was removed and the potato talisman could no longer be obtained, except through the auction house and or trading. Unfortunately, that meant when Ironman was added to the game later that year, any Ironman players could not actually get the talisman. Fast forward about a year and this dictator NPC guy named Dante becomes mayor of Skyblock. An underground resistance forms with the one and only Technoblade voted to be the leader. Dante is defeated, Technoblade becomes mayor, and shiny pigs are added to the game as one of his perks. And they had a chance of dropping, you guessed it, the potato talisman. Fast forward another year to Skyblock's 2022 anniversary, aka a couple of days ago. And what do you know? Now the pig shop is in the game, and shiny pigs are back. But what are shiny pigs for? And how do I get them to drop stuff anyways? Well, I'm glad you asked. Go to the pig shop. The pig shop sells 3 items, but we mainly need to focus on this one. What is it?
Shiny orb.
Buy a couple, or a stack. They cost 2,000 coins each. Now you may have noticed some pigs wandering around the Skyblock hub. Go find one. They mainly spawn here. Now right click or left click it while holding the orb. The pig will be sent flying to some nearby location in an, I think, random direction. Follow it. You found it? Now you have to return it to the orb, which I forgot to mention stays floating where you first launched the pig. There are 2 ways that I know of, or at least that are most commonly used, to do this. The pig will run away from you as you get closer to it. Using this mechanic, you can guide the pigs back to the orb, or you could just hit them. Seriously, it's generally much faster, especially if you're using a knockback 2 sword. And if you are worried about hurting the pigs, don't be, because they don't take any damage. When you return the pig to the orb, the pig will disappear, and you can click the orb for a reward. These rewards span from coins and XP to hot potato and harvesting 6 books. But what we mainly want is the potato talisman. And remember how I said the pigs, or I guess the orbs, have a small chance to drop the potato talisman? Yeah, the probability of getting one is 1 in 5,000. The drop chance really went from free to 0.02%, and because I'm on Ironman, I have to manually get it. Don't get me wrong, I prefer it that way, but, you know. I guess let's go grind 5,000 pigs, yeah, I guess. Yay! So as I said earlier, it's really helpful if you have knockback 2 on the sword, so that's what I ended up going and doing, and that was the last thing I needed to get done before I could go ahead and start up this grind. So we were off. I bought some shiny orbs and started up a stream. This admittedly wasn't the best of ideas, because I was still trying to get my bearings into grinding these pigs. They would get launched into buildings and were pretty slow to respond to subtle player movements, which led to situations like this. And I thought they might, so I saw a video saying that they might, okay. I mean, seriously, does this look like a man who knows how to grind pigs? Sometimes they would get launched into these stairs and would just disappear, and other times, after they were launched, they would appear without your name listed above them, so that they looked just like a regular shiny pig. As I said, I was still in relatively high spirits considering the grind that was ahead of me, but maybe this is because I didn't realize the full scope of it. I checked the drop rate for the potato talisman, and still, even after realizing the probability of getting it was 1 in 5,000, I thought for some reason this would be an easy grind, but let me tell you, it was not. Luckily, after only a few minutes of grinding, maybe 15 minutes or so, I had obtained exactly 32 enchanted pork. What could I do with this amount of pork, you ask? Well, you see, one of the other 3 items sold in the pig shop that I purposely didn't mention is the blood god crest. Another common accessory that could be earned during this event, and it costs 32 enchanted pork and 500,000 coins. So with some of the coins I'd grinded from last episode, and the 32 enchanted pork I'd gotten from shiny pigs, I bought the talisman. I forget what it's called. Bloodmaster crest or something like that. Blood god crest. I also ended up dropping a shiny shard, one of the rarer items that can be obtained from shiny pigs.
Shard. Let's go.
In hindsight, I don't know why I seemed so excited for this drop. It's much less rare than the potato talisman, and I still had many hours of grinding ahead of me before I would hypothetically drop the talisman. Up until that point, however, I didn't really know how long it would take before I got the talisman, so I ran some calculations. By simply keeping track of time, I found that getting through one stack of orbs took me an average of 20 minutes, so in an hour I could get through around 3 stacks of orbs. Considering I needed to complete 5,000 of them, it would take around 26 hours, and that doesn't even guarantee a drop. All it means is that if I passed 5,000 and still hadn't dropped the talisman, I would be beating the odds.
So that adds up.
Divide by that 3. 26 hours. That is soul crushing. If it sounded like I was tired here, that's because I was. Spending the past 3 hours clicking floating orbs just to find out that I still had give or take 24 hours left of grinding before I reached 5,000 took a toll on me and my morale. It started to get pretty late and I started to debate whether I should call it a night and get some sleep or continue on with the grind. The stream was pretty dead at this point, as it had been for most of the stream, excluding the occasional comment from someone stopping by. Ultimately, I made what I would say is the right decision and went to sleep. I started off the next day without turning a stream on so I could focus on my pig grinding technique, something I should have done when I first started grinding. And what do you know, I also dropped 2 more shiny shards in addition to the one from yesterday. So remember when I enchanted that wooden sword with knockback 2 for grinding the pigs? Well, I realized that I could use the hunter knife instead, an item which, when held, gives you 40 speed. So I grabbed mine, enchanted it with knockback 2, reforged it to fast for that extra bonus attack speed, and set off grinding more pigs. By this point, I had developed a strategy, if you will, for grinding pigs. I don't have an armor set that gives me speed, besides glaciite, and even at that, glaciite doesn't give you that much. So to make up for my lack of movement, I used a combination of the rogue sword, my aspect of the end, the hunter knife, and my grappling hook for maximum mobility. And now you may be wondering, the hunter knife is cool and all, but what about crafting a shiny rod with the 3 shiny shards you dropped? I mean, we see it in your hotbar, come on. Well, I had the bright idea of waiting to craft it until 5.5 hours after I got the 3rd shiny shard. If you didn't know, the shiny rod gives you 25% more coins from coin drops when doing shiny pigs or orbs or whatever. So for those 5.5 hours, I was missing out on 25% more coins. So anyways, I crafted it. Okay, cool. At this point, I had sort of reached a state of zen. With a free schedule, I was completely content to farm shiny orbs for hours on end. But as the hours inevitably went by, actually only a bit after I crafted the shiny rod, I began to grow listless and resorted to starting up a stream to keep me going. While reading chat and such would distract me from the pig grinding and in turn slow down my overall pig rate, in distracting me, it would take my mind off the game and allow me to continue on for much longer. This stream turned out to be way more successful than the last, thanks to those who were there talking in the chat and keeping me company. And everything, as it seemed, was going great. I truly wanted the grind to end at this point. I went back to my island to clear my inventory of all the completely useless drops that had been stacking up for the past hour of grinding. And what did I see? 2 players, both viewers I assume, visited my island, and you know what they did? They flexed on me. This person had dropped 3 potato talismans in under 5,000 orbs. I don't even know what to say about that. Not to mention the fact that they weren't even on Ironman. What were they gonna do with 3 potato talismans? Sell them? Yeah, sell them. Actually, that's a pretty good point. And this person started flexing their E-drag. Anyways, I went back to the hub to grind some more. And what was I met with after getting absolutely flexed on? The 2nd rarest drop below the potato talisman, not including the shiny relic. I dropped 1.25 million coins. Please. Oh my gosh. No. 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 Are you kidding me? No. 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 Why? No. Now you may be wondering, that doesn't sound so bad. And granted, you're kinda right, considering the fact that according to the drop chance of the 1 million coin drop, I dropped it early in a manner of speaking, taking into account that up to this point I'd completed approximately 2,100 shiny orbs, the drop chance of the 1 million coins itself being 1 in 2,500, and also maybe the fact that it was 1.25 million coins. But it still hurt all the same. Despite the seemingly hopeless state of my situation, I carried on. And then I went to bed. Okay, haha, next day. Pig, look at these pigs. Oh no. Look at them. Anyways, the last day of the anniversary was upon us, and the final hours were fast approaching. I'm sort of foggy on it, considering that this video has taken me a whole month to edit. But basically, I think I woke up fairly early in the morning to grind pigs, because today was different from most other days. I actually had to be somewhere during the afternoon, so I was confined to grinding in the morning. At this point, I'm pretty sure I wasn't even on track to complete 5,000 shiny orbs, but I guess every orb brought me one step closer to obtaining the potato talisman. And then I went to bed for probably, if I had to estimate, another 3 hours, and after that I basically had to go, so not much more grinding happened. And let me tell you, there was like a mental battle going on inside my mind at that time. I didn't want to miss anything for the sake of getting the potato talisman, but even with that in mind, I probably considered it anyways, which is kind of sad. I'd pretty much come to terms with the fact that I wasn't going to drop the talisman, and that those few hours I had spent in the morning were the last I was going to see of the event. But lo and behold, because of the way the timing of the event worked out, it looked as though when I got home, I would still have 15 minutes left to grind out a few more pigs. So as soon as I got home, I raced to my desk, booted up my PC, loaded into skyblock, turned on OBS, and with 2 stacks of shiny orbs in my inventory, I began my final attempt at dropping the potato talisman. I'm not quite sure how to describe these final moments or what I was thinking during them. Up to this point, I had grinded so many shiny orbs, but still wasn't at all close to meeting my goal of 5,000. I was going as fast as I possibly could, hoping that the next pig would be the one, but it all seemed to be in vain, as the final 60 seconds of the event were now at hand. My heart started to beat, maybe, probably. I don't really remember, as the timer slowly ticked down towards 0. This was my last chance to get the talisman. If I didn't drop it, I would have to wait a whole another year until the Hypixel Skyblock 4th anniversary event would, in theory, bring back shiny pigs, and another chance for me to drop the talisman. But I'll let these last few moments speak for themselves.
This can't be.
They flexed on me. This person had dropped 3 potato talismans in under 5,000 orbs. Oh my gosh. No. 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 Common accessory called the potato talisman. That was it. I thought maybe as long as I stayed in the same lobby, it wouldn't update, and I might be able to continue grinding more pigs even after the event was officially over. But no, there was just nothing. No pig shop, no pigs, no potato talisman. Nothing to console me in defeat. After approximately 16 hours of grinding, I'd completed around 3,500 shiny orbs. Next year, if the pig shop returns, mark my words, I will get the potato talisman, and I will succeed. Hopefully.